Kids 105.3 and 1340 is your boy Spida Crazy 8. Crazy show. We back another week. I hope you guys having a good time out there. Y'all, you may got it. You know, what's good, bro?
I was like, wait a minute. What's good, Spider?
You know, I gotta introduce you weird every time. Just because I think that's how people want to see you come to the show. How you been? What's been going on?
I've been good. I've been busy. So I appreciate you having me. Thank you for having me.
What busy? When you say
Yeah, so I did a podcast interview yesterday.
Oh,
Yesterday I think it was.
What do you think?
Mrs. Big Stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and I taught a modeling class this past Sunday. It went really well. We're gonna have another one coming up. So yeah, I've been staying out of trouble. Cause you know how I get. You know.
We might have to start a segment, probably just like the wildest thing that goes on in Roseville.
Ooh, yes, we talked about that.
Roseville. Of course we had to bring the superstar back, man. Who we got up in here, bro? Who we got up here?
We got some cool dudes. Yeah.
Sam Simmons is back with Lost in Ink.
Hey.
We got some more special guests today.
Huh?
I'm Paul. Nice to meet you guys.
Hey, Paul.
Paul's pretty cool too, man.
Paul is cool. Y'all gotta check out Paul's tattoos. Look. This is the first one I saw when I first came in. Dope.
And so, you know, Sam brings cool people every time it comes. I don't let just float in with them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And last it was Pops. I don't know. It's Sam. Pops up here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pops was pretty cool. He was pretty cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And so this is one of the artists that's going to be in the shop, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How do you deal with Sam?
I mean, that's gonna come in time, I think. we're gonna have to see how that goes, right? He seems pretty cool though, so I don't think it'll be too hard. Nothing crazy.
I have this question. So, do the owner picks the tattoo shop, or do the tattoo artist, or do you pick the shop?
Yeah, that's a good
I mean,
question.
he reaches out to us, and just like any artist, we're very eclectic. So, like, you know, we pick and choose for sure, but at the end of the day, you know, you try to pick the spot that's gonna be the best for you and your vision of the future, if you will. So mine and his seem to align pretty well, and I think that's going to work out well for the future, if that makes more sense.
Nice. I want to know, I want people to know what made you want to become a tattoo artist.
Man, honestly, I'm gonna have to shout my mom and my wife out for that.
Aww.
Because, like, in all reality, yeah, I would have never been like, yeah, I'm gonna draw on people for a living, you know?
Yeah. Shout out to mom and wife.
Shout out to mom and wife. Dopest tattoo that you've ever done.
The dopest.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Like art like that, tattoo? Say like, well, this is my best piece, and then tattoo like 7 other people who felt like.
Yes and no, because like I feel like it's like a lot of things, right? Like it's a feeling too more than it is like just the art, right? So so I can do a dumb piece on somebody, but at the end of the day, like the reaction with that person was way better than a cool piece I did on somebody who just sat there and was like, you know what I mean, the whole time. So at the end of the day, like it really, the vibe is really important, you know, and like how you present yourself and the people you have around you, you know, the vibe of the shop means a lot as well. So like at the end of the day, you know, like you could be pushing out awesome work, but be in a closet in somebody's backyard, you know what I mean? And it's just like horrible. You know, nobody likes the vibe. They don't like where they're sitting. It's horrible, right? But at the end of the day, you could also have a good vibe in there, and that changes the whole thing for everybody. You know, they don't even remember that they're in a closet somewhere. They're just like, yo, dude, this cool. This dude's awesome to sit with. You know,
and a tattoo is wearable art.
Bro, it's intimate as hell. A lot of people don't think that, but like you're in somebody's bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like you're leaned all up on them for 6 to 8 hours at times. Like, bro. They, you know, the only other person I would say is a doctor, you know, that gets like that intimate with somebody.
Ooh, that's deep. I like that.
He going off right now. I never really heard somebody explain tattoo like that, so that's real interesting.
Yeah.
So what vibe are you bringing to this shop?
Man, I don't know. I like to say that like I'm not a lot of tattoo artists I feel like can be kind of judgy and also be very like stuck in their ways, right? And I like to think that I'm one of those tattoo artists that like I don't care what you want, bro. As long as it ain't racist, as long as it ain't stupid, I'll put it on you.
Yeah.
You know, and
I respect that.
by stupid I mean something that's gonna get me in trouble down the road. That like, man, why would you put that on somebody? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, who am I to say what's going on you permanently?
Right.
You know, and so like I try to make sure that when someone comes in, I give them all the angles I can possibly think of. Like, hey, you know, we should blow this up a little bit because 10 years down the road, ink expansion is going to make it look bad and look muddy. You know,
I didn't know that.
My job is to tell you the pros and cons of the position and the placement you're putting something, not tell you what you're getting. Right.
Wow.
My job is to get you what you want, how you want it, but make sure longevity wise it looks its best.
And you just saying that just makes people feel comfortable because you really know your stuff.
Right.
Because like getting a tattoo is, I'm assuming, can be very nerve wracking. I don't have any, but like choosing someone to do that, a permanent art on your body, is very serious. So someone like you who's experienced and actually knows what they're doing and has that discernment is gonna be like.
I mean, I would use the word experience loosely, but but I do all right, you know.
yeah. But you have that discernment, like, hey, this is what this is gonna do. This is what this ink's gonna do in 10 years. And I think it makes people really comfortable.
Yeah, and also making sure that you do your research too, you know, because I might not have seen it firsthand on some of these things, but I could have read 30 articles about artists who have been doing it for 10, 20, 30 years and like their explanations. And that's right there, I think, is what really makes an artist like good at what they do, is being able to explain to people, hey, this is what could happen, this is what might happen, this is how you can avoid it, this is also how you can help prevent certain things with aftercare, so on and so forth. Like, just understanding like what you do as a job is very important, especially to the people who are spending thousands of dollars to have you draw on them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was going to say, even the fact that you're willing to explain that to the client.
Exactly.
Because there's plenty of artists, I would say maybe even the majority, that won't. It's like, you want this and that.
Cool.
Right,
cool, I'll cover it in a year, you know,
And so the fact that, that means a lot to, especially to my culture and shop, and same thing with me as an artist and a client, is that taking the time to explain that to someone and point out the pros and the cons instead of just taking their money and running.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think none of my tattoo artists did that for me.
Well, I'd happily be the first, you know.
So we got the grand opening coming up, and from what I understand, you are pretty booked up, right?
Yeah. Sam's definitely got me set up for sure. Like,
booked and busy.
Yeah, exactly. He's been doing his due diligence on the side of marketing and making sure we have people coming in. So once again, another reason why I decided longevity-wise this would probably be a good endeavor for me is because that marketing aspect's there, you know what I mean? And he also, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I did my background checks and stuff too. He's got other businesses that do well, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, why not go with somebody who understands business? Because as much as a lot of people think like, oh, tattooing is cool and I can do whatever I want. No, it's a business and you gotta run it and you have to understand
100%.
how to manage people, not people that you pay, but people that you're working with that are paying you. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to make sure you can get those people in on a timely manner. You miss one message to somebody, they're going to the next guy. Like, you know what I mean? So you got to be on it. You know what I mean? You can be booked real quick, or you can flounder and not respond. Yeah, you can flounder and not respond, and they'll go to the next guy for cheaper. You know, like real quick.
You got a good business sense. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it.
I'm glad we met today.
So how are you getting prepared for this grand opening? Due to the fact that you are pretty booked up, are you just like, do you know what you're gonna actually be tattooing already?
Yeah, totally. They're all drawn up and ready to go too. So like, yeah. Most people send you what they're kind of wanting, and then like I like to make sure I give them like one or two other options too of the same kind of image, but potentially in like a different manner, maybe a different setup. But like in all reality, you just kind of you set it up the way you want, and then they can kind of tune it from there, right? And you can adjust what you need. But as far as setup goes, man, that's all gonna be like my products, right? So like making sure I have needles, making sure I have ink, you know, making sure I have aftercare stuff, you know, my glides and my machines, my batteries are charged, you know what I mean, so on and so forth. That stuff, you know, it just you gotta prepare a week in advance because you gotta order all those things, right? But at the end of the day, like making sure that you're set up And I like to be I'm one of those people who probably he's gonna hate me for it, but I have like double my whole station, so he's gonna have like a whole closet over there and be like Paul's crap, you know?
Paul's a hoarder.
Yeah, I am, bro. I like to be prepared though. If we have a flash day, I want to make sure I don't run out of needles, you know?
Right.
When you sitting there, you've been waiting 6 hours in a flash day setup, and you're like, man, I want this, and I want it in this size of a line, and your artist goes, man, I'm out of those needles. How good's that look on you, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Valid point. Yeah, you hired a good one.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I'm careful about who I bring on as well. I care about the brand and the image. So I mean, Paul is definitely a perfect fit, and is a fantastic artist. But like
Absolutely.
you said, everything else with the business sense and caring about the client, those are all very important to us. So
Absolutely.
So I got one more question I want to ask, and this is super controversial.
Oh.
It's extremely deep.
Okay. Heard that before.
So, how's AI being used with tattoo?
Oh man,
What?
I use the hell out of it. I'm not even gonna lie.
This is great.
Yeah. So like, okay, all right.
This is great.
I'm gonna be real with you. So this is super controversial. There is so many artists out there with tenure that are like, you're an idiot. I can't believe you're using AI. They're all the same image. And I'm like, obviously you have no idea how AI works because they never produce the same image. Like, but at the end of the day, if you ask it to produce that same image, it will.
Right.
So my thought on AI is very controversial in that fact of, if someone comes to me and wants an arm sleeve and is willing to pay me $2,000 today to start this arm sleeve, and I can't produce a arm sleeve that's ready and working to be put on their arm right now,
Yes.
they're going to go to the next guy. But AI can make that happen. I have so many gems on Gemini that like are set up to where like I can set it up, place my images, and it'll put it into an arm sleeve, and then I can show them what it'll look like on their arm, colored, everything. And then when I'm done with that, I can put it into another gem, and it'll automatically print the line art for me. So it's like ready to go.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you are a business savvy person,
Yes.
not using AI is idiotic in my opinion.
Okay.
That's real.
Because if you're not able to progress with the times, that guy down the street that's brand new and he's 22 years old and knows how to use AI, he's gonna get all those clients like tomorrow.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So you have to evolve.
Yeah, bro, it's like anything. You gotta make sure that, you know, if I notice things are progressing, which you got to, because they do. Like you said, every month is a new month, new year, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a perfect way to put it, because tomorrow there's gonna be Pro 2 AI. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
And if you ain't on it, paying attention to it and learning it, like you're just gonna get stepped over, bro. Like real quick.
Yeah.
It's
real
a big
quick.
deal with automation and delegation from a business perspective, and it's like it's not taking away from the intimacy and the pureness of the art and the
Right.
craft.
I'm still doing that part.
You're
yeah.
still doing that, yeah.
Yeah, it's so.
I can just produce it 10 times better and faster. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I think people are afraid of it, and because they don't understand it. And so like once
Yeah.
you lean in like you did, you understand it, you know how it works, you're not afraid of it, you know that you can make it work to your advantage.
Right.
Then the more people understand about it, then the more comfortable people can get with it.
Yeah.
If people are gonna not understand it, and I'm happy about that, because
Yeah.
it means that I can
More from
get
me.
over them.
What? No.
I'm not in a rush to tell you, hey, something's wrong with you. Like, hey, if you don't get it, that's keep not getting it, brother.
Yeah,
You know?
well,
Yeah.
And I'm gonna add another point to it. So, like for instance, say you draw somebody this cool lion piece on their
Yeah.
arm, right? And it's a front view of a lion. But the day you get there, you spent 3 weeks drawing this thing up. It's beautiful, exactly how you want it. You get there, and the client's like, "Can I get a 3/4 view?"
Absolutely not.
3 more weeks later, I'll have that drawn. Sure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But with
Yeah.
AI, I go, "Hey, can I see this in a 3/4 view?"
Yes.
And it takes my exact drawing and turns it to a 3/4 view.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think it's definitely a case by case basis, and like me personally, I like to use both and go back and forth.
Yep.
But for me as a shop owner as well, like I'm leaving that up to my artists. Like I don't expect them to use AI. I know a lot of people it's a big deal, and I also am not going to tell them not to use AI. That's the artist's preference.
Yes.
And like I said, to me, it doesn't take away from the art or the craft, but I totally respect the opinion of not wanting to use it. So to me, it's up to them. But like Yeah, I think that it's cool to be able to go back and forth. And some clients, they want you to draw something personal for them, and they
Right.
don't want AI. And okay, let me offer you that.
Sure.
But like he said, it's not ideal for a lot of clients, especially in today's age, where they want AI and they want it right then and there.
Yep.
Mhm.
So having the capability of offering both is important.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that was kind of what I was just reiterating, right? So I spent 3 weeks drawing that lion tattoo, but instead, that is my drawing. I drew it on my iPad, doing
Yeah.
it myself with nobody else. However, I was able to take that AI and turn it to a 3/4 view of my drawing.
because you know both.
Right, yeah, because
Right,
I
you know
made
both
that.
sides.
Exactly, I made that and I understand what to say to it to not change the design in any way, but just give it a 3/4 view.
Exactly.
Right? And then I can still print out that line art of my drawing with that 3/4 view, so it's the best of both worlds. Like,
And you still got
know
that
what I'm saying?
customer to
Right, yes,
client.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I didn't have to tell them, come back and see me in 2 more weeks when I get this 3/4
'Cause they
drawing.
won't.
Yeah, exactly, right? You know, because they don't want to hear that.
No.
When they walk in, you know, of course they don't get the fact that like changing up certain images
Takes time.
yeah, it can be very time consuming. You know?
Absolutely.
And then they're like, "Am I paying for this?" You know, like,
Oh
like,
yeah, then that comes into it. Yeah,
Exactly, you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
And at $150 an hour, that can be kind of costly. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely, man. Okay, so we know a lot about you. Where can we follow you at?
So I have Instagram, Facebook. I have all of them. I go by Dark Ink. That's well. So I call it Dark Ink, but technically I'm a nerd and play video games, and Dark Knights were my favorite thing. So it's DRK.
You don't know nothing about
INK,
Batman.
yeah. But yeah, so it's underscore DRK underscore INK underscore for Instagram, and that's how you can look me up on there. And then Facebook, it's just Paul William Key. So
Okay. All right, super dope, man. So you're gonna be at the grand opening. You already booked.
yeah, I hope so.
All right, man. So we got we got some more guests, right?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get a couple more of them in real quick after this commercial break. Kiss 105.3, 1340.
Good job. You're awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it, dog.
You're a knowledgeable guy.
I think that's going the club with the AI. I think we're gonna go. We can go viral
Ooh,
with that.
yeah.
Yeah, I got a little heated in there too. I was like,
Yeah,
hey, bro. Hey,
people-
I really am like very, like, I don't know, not even emotional, but I do get very into it just because like,
Passionate.
yeah, I'm passionate about it. I love doing this stuff. I mean, honestly, I'd do it for not even getting paid, but at the end of the day, it's nice that I do. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like, but the love of tattooing is really where it's at. Like,
Yeah.
it's just fun to do.
It's just cool that you know like both sides. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just like art.